Namaste, beautiful friends. This is Elle with Sacred Union Spiritual Wellness, a channel dedicated to uplifting and enhancing your spiritual well-being. Welcome. If you are new here, a special warm welcome to you. I am Elle. I am your hostess. I am your intuitive card reader, clairvoyant, and psychic medium, bringing you messages to provide you good guidance to navigate these energies so that you can respond instead of react. That responses usually bring more positive outcomes. So if you get a heads up and you realize how to navigate these energies to your best and highest and greatest good, it's going to be helpful so that you have a more positive outcome as opposed to reacting, where oftentimes we bring a more negative outcome. So I'm going to talk about the astrology first, some of the energies you may be experiencing, and then I will cleanse and clear the space, and I'll get the details specific to you in the tarot reading. So let's start with the astrology. Today is February the 6th, 2025. A couple of notes. I usually just focus on the salient astrology that I think is going to impact you the most, but it will also depend on your birth chart. We do have the North Node conjunct Neptune. And then we have another aspect. The moon has moved into Gemini, but then the moon is also making kind of like a mini grand trine to Venus and Pluto. What does all this mean? The way I'm kind of reading the energy and putting it all together is that there might be an unexpected change, just a sudden unexpected change. It doesn't necessarily mean negative, but it's going to feel that way at first. On the face of it, it's going to feel negative. It feels as though I didn't really want that, but you're also going to feel empowered. And here's the whole deal. On the onset, it's going to feel cold and detached. It's like all of a sudden there's this cold detachment, and that might be what is sudden. There may be somebody that just totally detaches. It feels cold. It feels unnecessarily rough. But this is a detachment to release some of the sensitivity in the emotional situations, in the relationships. This could be a little tough love, but it's an empowering, because the sensitivity has been released, and now there's kind of like, okay, I can deal with this more in an objective, non-emotional way to either bring balance to the relationship or to find a solution to a challenge. So those are the more salient features. I'm going to relate it to kind of the root canal that we had in the reading, the spiritual root canal a couple of days ago. I'm going to post the link here. But you know how after you have a root canal, before the root canal, there's this pressure, there's this pain, there's this tension, and you can't eat, and it starts to permeate your personality. You get this variability in your patience level, your tolerance level. But then once the root canal happens and they relieve that pressure, they relieve that sensitivity, it's almost like, okay, now I can go back to being a lot more objective and not so inflamed in my sensitivity to my relationships, to my work environment, to my circumstances overall. So let's get into the tarot and see what this might mean for you, so I can give you some good guidance on how to navigate these energies to respond instead of react. So first up, I want to say, if you like my content, please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and please leave me a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts or your experiences on how these energies might be impacting you and whether or not this guidance is helpful. Okay, so let's talk first about the moon. Now, we talked about the little mini grand trine to Venus and Pluto, and the moon is moved into Gemini, but we're also still in the energy of that first quarter moon in Taurus, and this is that release. It's releasing control, and so this is where that sensitivity was. It's almost like you couldn't get a grasp on the control, so there was some sensitive, but that was the first quarter moon in Taurus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. Remember that. So yeah, so now we're kind of getting that trine aspect with Pluto coming a little bit more into a balance. And then we're coming into the energy of the full moon in Leo. So this is going to start pulling that energy toward the full moon in Leo. And this is about going wild. So now we have this one thing about being controlled, being under this direct sensitivity of control, feeling that I need to break free, I need to detach. But then we kind of go to the opposite end of the spectrum and we go wild. So just a heads up, there's going to be a continuum of energy that's going to go from one aspect to an absolute extreme of another aspect. So just keep that in mind. I think that's going to be helpful to you as you go through until next week when we have that full moon in Leo. So just a heads up. All right, let's get on to the tarot reading. I am using The Sacred Traveler by Denise Linn, Messages from the Guides by James Van Praagh. I'm also going to use the Shadowscapes Tarot by Stephanie Law. I do not read reversals in that deck. And I'm also going to use the Secrets of the Tarot. I don't have a creator on that. So depending on what comes out in the reading, I may pull from another couple of decks to get some broader wisdom and good, a more comprehensive guidance for you, but I'll let you know what those are as we go through that. Okay, so now we have Embracing Enthusiasm, Shout to the Heavens with Happiness. This is that freedom energy. This is that detachment. This is taking things lighter. This is not being so in that heavy, controlled, domineering energy. But we have also this journey by moonlight. Now, we saw in yesterday's reading, I'll link here, about the narrowing path. And so we had to deal with the narrowing path. So now we have this shout out to the heavens with happiness and journey by moonlight, believe in magic. So we have two cards of high vibration energy, but with this full moon, this is a hint that you're going to start to feel that full moon energy start to get you into this vibrant, life-loving energy where you are just feeling like, oh, I'm finally released from some of the intensity. All right, let me switch the camera. I forgot to do that. All right. So here we have the two oracle cards. I'm going to move these moon cards out of the way. I think you got the gist of them. So let's move this here. And I'll move that. That's bothering me. Okay. So embracing enthusiasm. You see some butterflies here. That is a transformation. So it is this release from some of this energy. And it's kind of like, okay, I can take this deep breath and get back to the magical. Now, this could allude to some of the magician energy, which is the Gemini. The magician can represent Gemini. The moon just moved into Gemini. It is ruled by Mercury. And so we have the moon and Mercury influence here in the oracle reading. So this could be all about manifesting something beautiful now that you don't feel so constrained by this energy. All right, let's see what the guides have to say for you. I love this energy. I'm loving it. I'm loving the, there is a release. Live your bliss. Oh my goodness. Good times are coming in for you. It may not feel that way right now, but good times are coming in. You are here for a reason. We saw that card yesterday. You may want to check out that reading. There is 2 now references to yesterday's reading. You are here for a reason, and part of that is to create abundance and live in joy and high vibration and cultivate happiness. That's why you're here. But this is all about living your best life with the best version of yourself and embracing your enthusiasm and taking this journey with enthusiasm, even though it's bumpy and even though the pathway narrows and sometimes it feels a little bit pinchy. It's still a beautiful journey, and Spirit wants you to embrace that joy. Embrace that loving life energy. All right, let's get into the tarot. See what messages come through to you. I will call out the zodiac signs as I encounter them so that, you know, this can be more relevant for you depending on the placements in your chart. But please, this is a general read. The energies can be reversed. They can flip-flop. And it is, this message may be all a message for you or in part. Please take what resonates and leave in peace what doesn't. If you feel like this is reading your story and you want more information, that would be the time to reach out for a private reading so that we can get the specific details based upon you and your situation. Okay, so let's get started with the tarot. And this is the Shadowscapes. Remember, I do not read reversals as it comes out in the reverse. Page of Swords energy. That's some Libra energy. That's the balance I was talking about. 10 of Pentacles. That's Virgo energy. I feel like that's the abundance that you can create. All right, 7 of Wands. That's some Leo energy as this full moon is coming in Leo. We have the 8 of Pentacles, more Virgo energy. And then we have the Chariot. I love the Chariot. That's that freedom, breaking free. And then on this one is the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords being more Libra energy. So we have Libra. We have some Gemini energy. And then we have this Leo energy here. And then with the Chariot, that's Cancerian energy. That is another reflection of moon energy. This is about victory. This is about a forward movement. This is the control. Remember, I read from right to left. So this is the control, and this is going to kind of dissipate as we get in this 8 of Pentacles. This is nose to the grindstone. You know, somebody like, it's almost like forced labor. It's like the bearing the responsibility, and it's almost like with the 7 of Wands, you're just kind of rebelling against this heavy weight of control, authority, responsibility. My guides are saying your determination. And then we get to this Page of Swords and this Queen of Swords. And then we're like, wait a minute, we're finally getting this breath of fresh air. I'm finally able to start acting a little less like, you know, I don't have to do so much as adulting. I can maybe, you know, start to be a little bit more playful, a little bit more visionary, a little bit more light in my energy, not taking the weight so seriously. And then we get to this Queen of Swords. And this Queen of Swords is, you know, somebody who's going to cut out things that don't serve her. So it's kind of like, that's way too much responsibility. I need to lighten my load a little bit. I got to scrape some stuff off my plate. I need to, you know, free up my schedule a little bit because I'm not living in bliss. I'm buried under all of this responsibility. Well, you can still maintain and sustain your purpose, but you don't have to do it through drudgery and constant work. This is somebody who is just constantly feeling, I gotta do, I gotta do, I gotta do, I gotta do, I gotta, you know, I've got to produce. I've got to produce. I got to produce this 10 of Pentacles. This is my product. I got to work. I got to keep doing this. I got to, you know, but then it's to the point where all you're doing is either working or thinking about working or resting from working. And you're never giving yourself that opportunity to say, I want to live my bliss and I need to embrace some enthusiasm for just being. So that's a critical element there. All right, let's go ahead and look at Secrets of the Tarot, find some more deets for you, and then I'm going to pull from the Eye of Zen. So if you're dealing with a romantic situation, we want to take a twist on that. Let's see what's coming through. There's the Six of Cups. There's that connection I was just speaking about. Came out in a challenge position, so it feels like now I'm going to do this way. It feels like this is a relationship, and I talked about the astrology, where there's a detachment. That's that Chariot energy. It's kind of like, I just need to detach from the intensity, from that weight, from the control, and just breathe. And so it may feel like this person is detaching from you, or you need to detach from them. Remember, it can flip-flop either way, but you feel this sense of, it's just got to be tough love for them or myself. You know, I need to empower myself to speak my truth, and I need to say what's on my mind, and I need to feel like, you know, less sensitive about doing that. The sensitivity is still a little fresh, but it's starting to wane. Here we have the Queen of Cups. So this is some emotional, I feel like it's a little lighter. The Queen being that Cancerian energy with that Chariot. Six of Cups is Scorpionic energy, so heavy water. There's the Sun, there's the Leo. That's coming in this full moon in Leo that's coming up next week. So by that time, things are going to improve substantially. But it's going to take a little tough love. There's going to have to be either some communication with that Gemini energy, or there's going to be a detachment. It's going to seem somewhat forceful and sudden. And, you know, it could be where somebody or you tells, you know, uses the big FO, you know, it's just done. But it's not. It's just, there's a needed detachment to relieve the sensitivity. Now we have the Page of Swords in the reverse. We're not staring at it so hard now. We're not looking at it so hard. This is kind of releasing that sensitivity. So here again, this is the Libra energy, and it's kind of like, you know, I'm going to let things flow the way they're meant to. I'm not going to force anything, because forcing a conversation is a form of control, and it can be a form of manipulation. So this is a great opportunity to just say, you know, I may just need to leave it alone for a while. Maybe stay off the social media. If you're, you know, stalking somebody's social media, stay off of it for a while. Maybe that's just what's making you so sensitive. And that's what's making you want to control the relationship. Now you get to step back and say, you know, I'm just going to detach from that. I'm going to turn off my social media for a while. 8 of Wands. Awesome. Okay, that to me is communication. This is Sagittarius energy. That's an uplift. It's a lightening of the energies so that you have a more fluid communication. It's not a controlled communication. It's more a, you know, it's almost, the word my guides are using is, it's a happenstantial. You know, it's just happenstance, but circumstantial. So there you go. I made up a new word. Don't let me forget it. Write it in the comments for me, please. And what do you think happenstantial means? All right, let's see what comes through. We need one more card, please, Spirit, to give a roundabout on this. Okay, ooh, we're getting 2. We got the Judgment. I'm going to take the one in between. So Judgment card is Leo energy again. We got big Leo. So that tells you the timing is between now and the full moon in Leo, which I believe is the 12th, right before Valentine's Day. So that's the timing on this reading. And then we have the Four of Swords. And then we have the Three of Wands. So the Four of Swords is Libra energy. And we've got a lot of Libra here. So that's about relationships and it's about balance. So the communication, I feel, with that Gemini energy being infused here is just kind of like it's been out of whack. It's like either there's been some okay, my guides crack me up. Bile communication is what they're saying. But now things are going to come a little bit more into balance. We have this Aries energy with the Three of Wands. There's a waiting energy here, waiting for these things to kind of settle down, waiting for some of this intensity and a little bit of that harshness. With that Judgment energy, the Judgment can mean, you know, that's the empowerment energy, but there's a harshness. So this harsh detachment, this sudden detachment, I said it's going to feel harsh on the face of it in the beginning, but it needs to happen in order to relieve the sensitivity. All right, let's get into the Romance Oracle. Let me see what's going on there for if you are in a relationship or if this is regarding a relationship for you. So this is by Jennifer Walker. It's called the Eye of Zen Romance Oracle. And since many of us are in relationships, this can impact the way these energies affect your relationship, this communication and this detachment. All right, let's see what's going on here. Oh, make the effort. Great love is worth putting in the time and effort. So this is a detachment energy, but it's not a severing energy. Like this Queen of Swords, you're not going to sever this relationship because there's something, well, I mean, some of you may, but for me, this is just a relieving of the sensitivity so you can have a constructive conversation through a detachment, a little bit more objective, so that you can see what's going on realistically in the relationship. Confusion. The present is clouded, the future uncertain. More information is needed for clarity. This is why there needs to be this clarifying conversation, and the detachment has to happen first, because if the conversation were to happen before the detachment, the sensitivity is too high and the sensitivity range is way too intense. So this is just going to lead to more hurt feelings. This conversation won't be constructive. So the detachment happens so that the conversation can be led in a more constructive. So I'm going to give you an example. For some of you, if this is about a significant other and you are, you know, having a little disagreement over, you know, let's just make it timely, Valentine's Day, like, you know, your significant other doesn't ever get you, you know, the thing that you want. You want, you know, chocolate covered strawberries and they get you, some, you know, bath salts, and you're sensitive because you're like, I don't know how many times I've told them this is what I really, really want, and you know, again, they're disappointing me. And so instead of having that conversation where, you know, you react and you just get upset because you didn't get what you wanted, even though they know what you want, you step back and you detach and you say, you know, wait a minute, you know, I can buy myself chocolate covered strawberries if I really need them, but you know, I think they were maybe giving me something they felt I needed. Like maybe I need to take some time with this Four of Swords to soak in the tub and relax a little bit so that I can lighten up my energy. Maybe I'm pretty uptight and maybe that's just their way of picking up on that and saying maybe she needs, you know, I'm just saying she, it could be whatever, you know, reversed. Maybe your partner felt like You know, you could use some candlelight and some soothing music and a nice soak in the tub. Maybe they're going to come in and wash your back. You know, that kind of thing. But then when you have the conversation, you can have it from a more detached, where you're not involved with the hypersensitivity of your feelings being disappointed, but you're really like, yeah, you know what, that's okay, that's cool. You know, they were thinking, and maybe we can have a conversation about, well, gosh, thank you for that. I'm going to take this, but you know, while I'm in the bath, I think I'm going to go buy myself some chocolate covered strawberries because I'm going to indulge a little bit. So let's get some sacred self-care. This is by Jill Pyle. Connect with crystals. Definitely charge your crystals during the full moon. Positive affirmations. That's the empowerment. You know, I feel like with Mars and the aspect that it's been in with Chiron, we've all been kind of triggered. Everybody's been triggered at some aspect in their chart, and it's almost like we're just done. Now, for some of us, it's been about our children, our mothering, the way we mother. There might be an abrupt detachment with the way that we mother. Oh, make a meal. I always love that one because you can check out my other channel, The Organizer Advisor. I just posted today a video where I show you how to make some healthy, nutritious, amazingly delicious salmon bowls. And then I throw in a bonus where I make a high protein, low carb, delicious dessert that's actually nutritious for you. So you may want to check that out. So it's called The Organizer Advisor, and the video was uploaded today, and it's called Cooking with the Organizer Advisor. So yeah. So here's some things that you can do to empower yourself. I think the crystals I'm getting an energy of just clear some energy. Just do some crystal clearing. I actually add some crystalline drops to my water so that I can, you know, do some flush toxicity clearing to help keep my channel open, you know, for my downloads. But I don't know. I feel like this relationship is definitely a deep soul connection. It is something that you're going to want to maintain. It's not something you want to just do the big F off, but it requires effort. But in order to move productively forward, there needs to be some communication, and that communication is not going to be productive until there's a detachment. So if somebody just abruptly detaches from you today, you know, instead of reacting, just respond and say, that is necessary for us to move forward in a conversation that's going to bring some balance to this relationship, to this situation, or this happens, what was the word I used? Happenstance something. Happen circumstance. So that's what I have for you. But the major aspect to this reading that I want you to get is lighten up. The intensity has been severe lately. Now's the time to lighten up and live your bliss. Get into that high vibration. Find what makes you happy and embrace the enthusiasm for this journey. All aspects of it. All right. On that note, I would like to thank you for being here today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting, subscribing, liking, and just bringing your positive presence here to these readings. I am so very grateful to you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste. Thank you so much for your likes, your subscribing to my channel, and your very kind comments. I hope you found this video helpful. Please check out my other videos for other messages that will help you enhance your spiritual well-being. I'm Elle, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you again. Until then, my dear friends, namaste.